So I'm with Morgane today, and we are going to present you the new range of Lessonia that we launched during In-Cosmetics in Barcelona, which is named Alter Powders. So now let's talk about Alter Powders, our new range. So it is the purpose of this new range was to find some alternatives to the synthetic functional ingredients that we can find in the market. So this new range is composed of 6 ingredients, and all these ingredients are natural and are white powders. So we have one emulsifier, Alter Emulfaba, one thickener, Alter Thick Barley, 3 gelling agents, so Jelly Jack, Gelicium, and Suspensilia, and one alternative to talc, which is an hydrophobic powder, which is named Alter Talcagnoc. So to begin, the first one is Alter Emulfaba. So the objective with this ingredient was to find some alternative to the synthetic surfactants that you can find in the market. We, thanks to the research and development, we succeed to find a combination of 3 ingredients to obtain the emulsifying effect. So this ingredient is composed of Acacia Senegal gum, Sclerotium gum, and Aquafaba with the inky hydrolyzed scissor seed extract. And the Aquafaba is the chickpea cooking juice that you maybe know for its property to, for example, you can use it in chocolate mousse, vegan chocolate mousse to replace the eggs. So Morgane will tell you more about this ingredient.
Okay, Emulfaba is a mix of 3 ingredients, and the concentration of each ingredient in Emulfaba allows to make a stable emulsion with only Emulfaba, without co-emulsifier or without stabilizer. We advise to use Emulfaba from 2 to 5%, depending of the concentration that you want to add in your oil phase, and depending on the texture you want, the viscosity you want for your final product. For example, to show you Emulfaba in formulation, we made simply formula with water 10% on oil and 2% of Emulfaba, and we have something like that. I don't know if it's nice and severe, something very fluid like that. And if we add 5% Emulfaba, we will have something more thicker, like this one. So what you have to remember, whatever the concentration you use of Emulfaba, the main characteristic and the main benefit of Emulfaba is the final touch of the emulsion. You have something, a very evanescent touch, soft touch, and no soapy effect.
Yeah. So maybe you can test on the skin.
Concerning the process, it is a classical process for emulsification, but you have to add Emulfaba in the water phase. And after you hot the 2 phase about 75 degrees, and you have a classical process. For example, we present you a formulation guide with, we want to develop a formula with a few ingredients, and we use only Lessonia ingredients. So we have Aqua Algae Saccharina for the anti-pollution effect, oil of Aqua Algae, of seaweed at 10% for the revitalizing effect, Emulfaba at 2%, perfume and Tremella for the moisturizing and anti-aging effect. And we have an emulsion like that we can show you with a white and with the same characteristics that we can recognize Emulfaba in the touch, for soft touch and evanescent touch, no soapy effect as you can have sometimes with natural emulsifier.
Yeah, and it doesn't fluff up neither.
No. It's difficult to show you at the camera, but you can test and you will be convinced too.
So the next ingredient, it's a thickening agent, also 100% natural and Cosmos compliant, and OK China. And this ingredient is really interesting if you want to thicken an emulsion, because it will bring a rich texture, but non-greasy. And you can also use it in aqueous formulas. We will show you after. And this ingredient comes from the barley starch, which is not chemically modified. So that's why it is 100% natural. So yeah, and just the powder. So it's a very white powder.
Yes. To show you the effectiveness on the thickening power of Sec Barley, we choose to work with 2% Emulfaba emulsion, something very fluid, and we add 5% of Sec Barley, and we have something creamy and more, as you can see there.
More thicker, yeah.
Thicker, yes. And the touch is, as Marius said, creamy, rich, melting, but not sticky.
And not greasy.
Yes. For example, we developed sample gel with 10% Sec Barley in water, and we have something very thickened and soft touch, like a gel cream. So you can see it's only only water on 10% Sec Barley.
Yeah, maybe you can show the jar.
You can see the next slide. It was the emulsion with 2% Emulfaba and 5% Sec Barley. Now, and about concerning the properties, as we said, you can use it in aqueous phase in emulsion. We advise to use it 1 to 10%.
Yeah, and it also stabilize the emulsions.
Yes, it can.
So let's talk about all our gelling agents. So the first one that we developed is Alter Jelly Jack, and this ingredient is really interesting because it is an alternative to synthetic polymers that you can find in the market. And this ingredient is 100% natural, and it will allow to have a really high viscosity, to bring a really high viscosity to your gel. So this ingredient comes from the konjac roots. That's why it is called Jelly Jack. And so the inky is glucomannan. And to show you the viscosity of this ingredient, Morgan will show you the test that we did.
Yes, here is Jelly Jack powder, white powder, and here is a sweet gel we made with 3 concentration of Jelly Jack to show you the viscosity of gel and the appearance of the gel. Here it's 0.5%. 1% and 2%, very thick gel. Whatever the concentration you will use with Jelly Jack, the main characteristic of the gel is a smooth gel, very good, nice glide on the freshness of the gel. So you will be able to formulate different texture with Jelly Jack, slimming gel with the freshness, perhaps face mask gel for the freshness too. And Jelly Jack is very stable and he has a good resistance to electrolyte and surfactants, and so it will be the good candidate to formulate a foaming product, for example, shower gel or shampoo.
Yeah, so that's the big advantage of JellyJack.
Yes. Concerning the process, JellyJack could be formulated at a cold or hot process. And when we say hot process, it is about 45 degrees. But both work.
Yeah.
Gelicium?
Yeah, Gelicium. So if you were not happy with the appearance of the gel you have with the JellyJack, with Gelicium you will have something really clear and transparent. So that is the particularity of Alter Gelicium. So the very the total transparency of the gel. So this ingredient comes from the Sclerotium gum, so the mushroom Sclerotium, and it's also 100% natural and Cosmos compliant. And you can use it to formulate a really clear gel. And concerning the viscosity, it is a little bit lower than JellyJack. So
yes. Here is the powder, so the same. And in the same idea, we made 3 gel with 3 concentration of Gelicium. You have something very fluid, the 0.5%, 1%, 2%. So Gelicium will be the gelling agent you will choose for transparent gel, perhaps for serum. Gelicium will help to stabilize emulsion too, and it has a very good stability on a large range of pH from 3 to 11. Compatible with alcohol, for example, and non-ionic surfactant. Concerning the process, Gelicium will be used at 45 degrees. It don't work with cold process.
And it can also thicken formulas with
yes,
electrolytes.
A little, yes. When you add electrolytes, viscosity increase.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the last gelling agent that we developed is Alter Suspensilia, and we had to to develop this ingredient since Lessonnia is specialized in exfoliators and different type of particles. So we were obliged to develop this kind of product because Alter Suspensilia is a suspensive agent. So it will allow to suspend different types of particles, like decorative particles, pigments, or any physical particle. So it is also 100% natural, Cosmos compliant, and OK China. And the suspensive effect was founded by doing different tests. And we found a really good combination of 2 ingredients, which is the Sclerotium gum associated to the Sterculia urens gum, which come from the Sterculia tree. So, yeah.
Yes, as Marius said, Lessonnia has a large portfolio of particles, exfoliators or decorative particles, and we were always looking for a gelling agent which is able to keep in suspension these particles, and it is very difficult. So we find 2 gums who work in synergy, and which is able, the mix is able to maintain in suspension a lot of particles. Mm-hmm. To illustrate these properties, we developed 3 gel with 3 concentration, and we choose different particles in our portfolio. For example, petals are very light particles, and sun exfoliator is our heavier particles. So we made 3 gel with 3 concentration, and we test our particles. So Marius, you can show the 0.5% suspensilia, and with petals, we have something very fluid, but it maintains, it keeps petals to slow down in the lotion. We have 1% gel with kiwi seeds, and the most difficult, the last, is the 2%, which maintains in suspension exfoliator scent.
Yeah, so that is the sand exfoliator. I don't know if you see.
Volcanic sand.
Yeah, volcanic sand.
We advise to use 0.5 to 2% of suspensilia, and we recommend to use hot process for it. And after, I think it's the formula of the exfoliator we see before.
Yeah. Okay, and so the last ingredient that we developed is the alter-talc-gagnoc. And the objective with this ingredient was to find an alternative to talc that can be used in baby powders, because you may probably know that talc contains a toxic
asbestos.
Yeah, asbestos.
Yes.
Which is toxic, so it's not really interesting. And so we found an alternative to this, for the talc, and it is the alter-talc-gagnoc. So this ingredient is composed of 2 ingredients: cellulose acetate, which will bring the hydrophobic effect, and the tapioca starch will bring the softness of the powder. So it is 71% natural and OK China.
To illustrate the hydrophobic effectiveness of talc-gagnoc, we made a little essay. For example, as you can see on the picture, when you put a drop of water on a talc powder, the drop will stay on the surface. And we made the same experience with alter-talc-gagnoc, and the drop of water stay to the surface of the powder. So that shows the hydrophobic effect of our powder, and this is a very good quality for effectively baby powder and for makeup product. So you can use talc-gagnoc in makeup and larger formula of makeup. Talc-gagnoc could be used in emulsion too, when you have a sticky effect of emulsion and you want to reduce this effect, this finish of your formulation. You can add talc-gagnoc and you will have a good result on the
stickiness.
Yes.
And this is the powder of talc-gagnoc I didn't show you. So really white too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for attending this meeting. Don't leave now, because we will. You can ask your questions just after. You will be able to find the Alter Powders range on our website, and also we will send you an email with where you can download the brochure of Alter Powders. So just if you have some requests in a specific locations, this is my colleagues in the ingredients part. So we have Nina, which is in charge of the Brittany zone in France. Marine, who is in charge of North and East of Europe and South of France. Benjamin, who is in charge of North of France, United Kingdom, Benelux, Spain, Portugal, Italia, Africa and Middle East, and myself, I'm in charge of North America, South America, Australia, and Asia. Okay.
No question? Okay.
So if nobody has questions,
okay.
There is a. Can we see the message? Who is in charge of Germany? It is Marine. Marine, maybe Clara, you can show the slide. Yeah, it is Marine in charge of Germany.
Merci. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.